Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. We are live from Australia and it is very sunny. The sun is coming in. And how is everyone? Please do like and share the show if you do appreciate the content. I'm David Starlyte. I'm back. I've been to the doctor, so I hope I don't look too scary. I've had something burnt off my cheek, as you can see there. So I am going through the doctor and cleaning my face up so I can be purified. It was quite a busy day, quite a difficult energy in a way, because my regular doctor passed away. I think I did mention that my regular doctor passed away. So the person taking care of me has become an angel. And there was a service on Sunday. One of the people who gave a eulogy on Sunday, a beautiful eulogy, very interesting American man who was on the radio for years, he is no longer, which was just like, oh, well, how did that happen? He was literally giving the eulogy on Sunday, and then I saw yesterday he had passed away, I think maybe even the next day, Monday. Yeah. So I think Monday passed away. And Kim says hi. Good morning, Kim. It's very sunny. It's quite an exhilarating energy today, almost like America out here. So we're usually very slow, and I feel very like chilled out. And today there's a bit more sort of energetic activation. I was having lots of vivid dreams. Marianne says, hello, I hate skin tags and such. I have to do it again. Yeah, I guess I'm the same. I had this thing on my, just over there. So that's why I said, yeah, can you just burn it out, whatever they do with the nitrogen, frozen nitrogen or dry ice. And yeah, so maybe it's vanity. But I guess it is about perfecting as well. Maybe it's about purifying. So how are you, Kim? Do you think I'm being purified? And how are you, Marianne? Good morning. Good afternoon. How is it in California? I met these beautiful ladies from California. On Monday, I was chatting to these wonderful ladies, and the one was sitting looked like a wheelchair, and her feet were purple. And I was thinking, oh, this is not a good sign. Purple feet, that's really not good circulation. So amazing. She's in Australia. She's traveling with her daughter. Her daughter's taking her around. But purple feet, that is not a sign of good health. So really, health is everything in life in a way. And guess you appreciate it more when you see people who are not well. You appreciate what you have, I guess. Whatever you have, you see so many who don't have those things, and then it does activate gratitude. So I think there's a lot of homeless people in California, for instance, and then it's kind of like when you see how people are living, you realize, oh, if I have a roof over my head, then there's so much to be grateful for. I'm fortunate. So there's a lot to be fortunate about when we realize what other people don't have, and we don't realize it. So when you have parents, you don't always appreciate your parents until you see people who don't have parents. So I guess the list goes on endlessly. It's beautifying. So not purifying, but beautifying. So is it all vanity, Marianne? Is it all vanity? So I've been busy yesterday working on a tour itinerary for my retreats that I'm working on. And it's actually been quite hard work, and it's quite detail oriented, and it's quite almost like I get obsessive. I was getting a bit obsessive and looking at each accommodation option, comparing and contrasting, and it was kind of fun. I guess it's something I've always done, is create travel experiences and plan trips, and it does. There's many options in the world, so many options, and whether you got to make a choice. So that's what I've been up to. I feel like I need to sneeze. Excuse me. And what do you think of sneezing? A little bit of a different topic. What do you think about sneezing? Because the people at school I went to, sort of kind of like a British school, people were quite reserved, and a lot of people did not sneeze, so they would like control their sneeze. People were not comfortable sneezing. And how do you feel about that? Can you relate to that? Have you heard that before? Because it was very common in my school. People would not sneeze. They would like suppress their sneeze. And I remember my mom said to me something. She had a sneeze where she shouted, and she said it was, she couldn't control it. She would shout and like, "Ah!" like that. And I said, well, we do have some, we can intentionally sneeze, and we do have some control over the sounds we make. Because some people, they make a big sound and it's kind of like they're expressing their emotion. They like shout. And you're like, well, some people have these beautiful dainty sneezes where it's like, it's like really cute. And so there is a certain expression, there's a certain expression and a certain control, a certain volition we have in sneezing. So Sego, yeah, please, you can ask. Yes. Kim says, I heard sneezing take years off your lifespan. I do sneeze a lot. Sneezing takes years off your lifespan. Yeah, I haven't heard that, Kim. That sounds like an old wives' tale, but who am I to judge? When we become angels, then we can assess that. But I don't know why that would take years of your lifespan. Sago, is someone from Z Group Home going to call me? Is that a job application? Happy allergies. I got to sneeze fit daily during pollen season. I do not suppress. Yeah. So what do you think about suppressing sneezes? Because I have to be honest, I did used to suppress my sneezes as well. And I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that. I'm kind of like, oh, really? Did I do that? But yeah, I was in the British colonial sort of school system. And when these sneezes cropped up when I was in a sort of public, in class or in a public event, we had assemblies daily. So there would be 700, 800, 900 kids, whatever it was, in a hall. And I used to suppress everything. So I suppressed my sneezes. Yeah. Marianne says, me, dainty, no, atomic. Atomic. All right. And Kim says, yes, I know someone who screams when they sneeze and they can't even control it. Oh, that's what I'm saying, Kim. I don't believe that you can control it. Because if I can suppress my sneeze, yeah, I do think there is control and expression. It's hard on your heart. Oh, that's interesting, Kim. Marie says, hello, hope you're doing well. I have a kitten that has been missing since yesterday. Please tell me if I'll get it back. Did someone take it? Did something happen to it? So sorry to hear, Marie. What's the name of your cat? And Jessica, welcome to the show. I couldn't sleep. It was actually about 4 a.m. I could not sleep, and I saw your message, and I was like, oh, I want to talk, and I don't want to, because I couldn't sleep. And then when I can't sleep, after a while, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna check the time, and then I just opened the messages, and then I saw your message. I did manage to get a bit of sleep after that, so that was good. So great to see you, Jess. And how are you? How are you doing? It's not good for your heart to try to suppress your sneeze. Oh, I see what you mean, Kim. So suppressing sneezing is not good for your heart. Yeah, that makes sense. It's hard on your heart to try to suppress your sneeze. Marie, no name. No name. Okay. Only 4 weeks old. Okay. It's really a baby kitten. We can ask personal questions. I don't know what you mean. We can ask personal questions. I guess it depends how personal. And are you? Do you mean asking me, or do you mean being on the online stream, or you can ask to a point. The discernment, discernment is everything. So I'm pretty kind of practical person in many ways, and so you can ask me pretty much anything. I mean, we're talking about sneezing here. But to a point, I mean, with everything, there's certain lines that we don't really want to hear about people, certain things people are doing, even though maybe we know they may be doing certain things, but it's like there's a certain kind of point where we overstep the mark. And I think it's interesting because I have a dog who snores, and I find it cute. I find it cute. She's got a cute little snore, and I find it really cute. But certain people find snoring, they find it offensive, and men snore more than women, but pretty much everyone snores. Particularly when you lie on your back, that's when you snore. But men seem to snore worse than women in general. But that's quite personal, and yet it's real. Let's not pretend we don't make noises when we sleep, and some are louder than others, and some can be really difficult. It kind of can even break couples up, or people sleep separately because of the snoring. Nothing wrong in sleeping in separately. Nothing wrong in that. Jess says kittens are sweet. They certainly are little mammals. And Amantha says, hello. How are you, Amantha? Great to see you on the show. And Sago, I'm going to come back to you. I'm just catching up with the stream of comments, and I will come back to you. Presh says, hi, welcome to the show, Presh. And great to see you. I've just got a little bit of hay fever. I am allergic to everything, so that's how it works. It's I guess it's because of a sensitivity, and I have that sensitivity, so I'm kind of sensitive to noise, sensitive to dust, mold, cats, just everything, grass. Adam Mohammed, question. There was a girl who came up to me and smiled at me while I did not know or ever acknowledge before. This girl greeted me at the counter of the gym. Is she showing I don't. Ilyas Al sign of interest. Can you please? Oh, okay. So we're just going to come back to that. Ilyas, I don't know how you say your name. Welcome to the show. Great to see you. How are you? We're going to come to that people talk in the sleep too. I used to walk in my sleep. So sleepwalking is a very, very strange thing. As a kid, I was doing that. It can be quite unsafe, and people have been found like walking around the city in the middle of the night and all sorts of things. So we're going to just catch up with Sago. Are you there? And we'll start off with Sago. Is someone from Z Group gonna call me? And Z Group home. Z Group home. Okay. I think your numbers. They've got your number, and it's kind of like a bit borderline at the moment. It feels like they're going to come to it, and there's a little bit of hesitancy around this interaction. Seems like they're very, very busy. There's a lot of energy around and preoccupied, and it's a kind of interesting card, Sagil, interesting card. So there is this connection, but it's not. Can you see? I don't know if you can. Oh, the light is coming. Can you see that? Can you maybe zoom in? So it's like it shows it shows a connection like that. So they are connected, but they're not touching. I'd say this call is on the edge. It's like we want to call you, but something's holding us back. We're really busy with other stuff. So if I bring it closer, that doesn't seem to work. Yeah, so I feel like it's gonna happen, but there's a pause and there's a delay, and maybe it's not gonna happen. So it's not doesn't seem like it's 100%. So let's see what happens. Marie says, okay, so this is a kitten. If I get it back. All right, so let's see about the kitten. Where is this kitten? And where do you live, Marie? So I almost feel like the kitten was taken to a vet. It was somebody's taken it to a vet, and I feel like it may get rehomed. Actually, I feel like it may get rehomed. So I don't know if you're going to get this kitten back. This card is indicating it's a general message for you, Marie. It's a general statement of surrender. It's saying let go, let God. So let's say a little prayer for the kid. May it be safe, and may it find a home. May it be safe, and may it find a home. May it come home. Definitely, it's saying, don't try and control what's going on. Sometimes we just need to trust and let go, and trust that we all have guardian angels, we all have protection, and there's a movement of time, a movement of destiny, a movement of our lives. Everything's moving along, and some things are, we doors open and doors close. So this is saying let go. That's what the card is, which is not. I don't want to be negative about it, because let go is not negative. It's saying just surrender and let us know, Marie. All right, so we got to Presh. How are you, Presh? Kittens are sweet. Sago, we can ask personal questions. Yo. Let's see. Where did we get to? Mantha, Presh, Adam. There was a girl who came up to me and smiled at me that I did not know. Is she showing a sign of interest? Can you please tell me what energies are you feeling or picking up? So Adam, I feel like it's a little premature here. It's like sometimes people are friendly, and it doesn't mean that is a romantic interest, or even if you smile at someone, it doesn't mean that connection is going to grow. So waving at someone, smiling at someone, looking from a distance, that's like this can be a bit of a fantasy. And then the next thing is the connection, is the interaction, is getting close and interacting with people's energy. And that's what I get clearly. It's like there's a step missing here. It's like we see each other, we wave at each other, we're friendly, and then there's a we need to connect. So we need to connect. That's what's coming up for me, Adam. We need to make the next step, which is connection. And I think that's where you're struggling. That's where you are. There's like defragmentation, or there's anxiety, agitation in you. So imagine, visualize fluidity in your interactions, in your connections with this woman, with people in general. Just let things flow naturally. When you try and force something, it will run away. So there's got to be a dynamic movement which is fluid, which is flowing. So that's really important. You look after yourself, put the love in yourself, nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. This card is saying basically serenity, self-care. When you come to the world with that energy, then things are going to flow really well for you. And you're going to be connecting. But really, connection is the next step. So make it fluid, make it fun, make it playful, make it, and then things can start to develop. All right. So Elias says, hi. Kim says, people talk in their sleep. And Marianne says, did you try immunotherapy shots for it? So I used to get a lot of shots as a kid. So I think that's yes. Marianne, I'm not sure. I got lots and lots of shots. So I don't really know. Sagil says, yeah, my family member there. Yes. Mary says, yes. Amantha says, is Dante sleeping with other women? We'll come back to that, Amantha. I'm just catching up with the comments. I find it disrespectful when people sneeze loud, yell, and spread all without covering their mouth. The guy at work did that, and 10 people got his cold. Yeah, that's really awful. Sometimes certain things are, and sometimes we do have these uncontrollable things that happen, but usually we could just excuse ourselves, go somewhere else. With sneezing and yelling is not that is not part of sneezing. So when people yell, that's emotion coming out. I know someone was saying you can control it. You can, you don't need, because I know I sneeze, so I know I can also go, or I can also make a drama out of it. But that's me expressing my voice, and maybe that's healthy to spread that voice. But when you being respectful for other people is really important, and I'm sorry to hear that. That's not respecting other people. Marie says, "Pa and Precious, please can I get a message?" Sure. Marie says, "Have a great day." Have a great day, Marie. Goodbye. Jessica says, "Oh, vets are kind to animals. People too. Just trust." And Marie says, thanks. And Marianne says, my cousin is talking about running for office. Does he have a chance? Because he's snake like his father. His name is Michael. Well, unfortunately, when you said he's a snake, I thought, oh, that's perfect for politics. It's very unfortunate we have so much distortion in politics and snakes that run and to emerge. It's so much in this world. We've got people standing on top of other people, and the leaders are not leaders. They are low vibration. They get there through stealth. They get there through stealth, through standing on top of people, through influence, through peddling favors, through corruption. So yeah, we'll pick a card for that. Good question. Kim says the etiquette for the show is not to use personal names. Yeah, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kim. What was the context? What was the context generally? The etiquette for the show is not. Oh, is that in the question? Yeah, in someone's question. I laugh out loud. I called them attention seekers. Yeah, well, that's true. It is. I guess it is attention seek. And thanks for that, Kim. I do appreciate it. I think someone mentioned a name, and so that's what I think that's what you're referring to. And Kim said, Jessica says, attention seeking. All right, where did we get up to? I think we were Sago. Are you still on there, Sago? What were you asking, Sago? I think Amantha, let's have a look. Amantha and Paresh. All right, so let's have a look. I think you were referring to that. I think you were referring to that. Yeah, because someone had asked earlier if you can talk about personal things. Yeah, you can talk about personal things, but just not you. Yeah, not use personal names. So Mantha's asking about someone else. It just it, it can become invasive if we don't have people's permission. Depends on our intention and how we use, how we're using the information. If it's I know a couple of people who do read energy and who do astral travel a lot, astral project, and people have certain boundaries, and some is we can share certain things. Let's have a look, Amanda. Yeah, there's quite an uprooting energy. There's quite a distorted kind of energy, defenselessness. It's a uprooting kind of energy, quite tempestuous, quite stormy. It feels like there is the answer is yes to your question, Amantha. That's how it feels to me. There's a lot of guilt and a lot of feeling sorry. It's like a lot of like, oh, why did I do that? So almost feeling like you're not there's no control over behavior. And Presh, let's have a look at your. We just got a like. Thank you. I'm your first like. CJT boys, welcome to the show, and wonderful to have new people. And just says Kim, David is very non-judgmental. Yeah, it's interesting because it's like, what is a spiritual teacher? What does it mean? Because what's tended to happen is people put people on pedestals, and it's like, well, if you're a human, you're a human. You're not a saint. You're not an angel. You're not. You're only you go to the toilet. You still eat. You still sleep. You have a human body. So ideas are only useful. They only have a utility. They only have a purpose only so far. There's only so far you can take that. And what is enlightenment? I saw the one guy in America, and he said on his website he became enlightened, and I thought, oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? And one of these spiritual teachers who claims to become enlightened, unfortunately, most of them have cult followings, and what they are often involved in is nothing spiritual at all, nothing to do with spirituality. But their words may be very enticing and seductive, and sometimes very intelligent. Brilliant people are very seductive, psychopathic. So we've got to be really careful with putting people on pedestals. Often the people on pedestals are psychopaths, and that's what they're feeding off, this power dynamic. And what does it mean to be a teacher? Is just to instruct. And we're all teachers in our own way, and certain teachers are have more experience than other teachers. That's the kind of teachers that look at their experience, follow follow things that are useful to you, but don't put that person on a pedestal. What is the most recommended book to read? That is a great question, because I find so many of these authors are narcissists. They have this narcissistic energy, and it comes through a little bit. And recommending books is hard, because I see these people who are creating these massive events which are so much energy, and that's showmanship, that's drama, that's it's not necessarily cultivating wisdom. So it depends what you want to cultivate. What do you want to develop? What is I personally like Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk, Vietnamese Buddhist monk, Thich Nhat Hanh. I like the authenticity, the simplicity, the purity of his voice. Very, very intelligent man, poet, very beautiful person, very much about embodiment. Everything was embodiment. And I guess his great thing is purity, and kissing the earth with your feet, walking barefoot in nature. So very much nature connected, simplicity, and mindful walking in nature, very, very pure. And I find Thich Nhat Hanh coming from a very pure level. So there's so many books, and perhaps we can share about the books that we've read. There's a book that's kind of scientific, and I would say energetics, power versus force, and I really respect that methodology. I respect how to look at the world through that prism. David Hawkins. So I would really recommend David Hawkins. It's because it takes away the dogma, it takes away the ideology, it takes away the politics. It becomes very raw energy. Is this what energy does this religion produce in people? What energy does this person produce, this book produce in people? When you hold up these cards, what does it do to your body? So it calibrates energy. So I really like that one. What are you looking for, and what do you like? What books do you like? I guess that's a great discussion. Jessica says, laugh out that loud. The most one brags about, the most shortcomings one has. You're talking about some of the teachers. Well, some of them I think can be very sweet and can be useful in certain contexts. I think it's really interesting, just there's certain people with just hundreds of millions of dollars, and they've created extraordinary success through teaching concepts that these are all universal concepts. They're not original. And it's kind of like, is that a good model? Is that authentic? And what are you doing with the money? So it's kind of interesting. What are you doing with the money? Cousin also has a mental health diagnosis. Did we have a question, Marianne? I think I may have missed that. I'll need to come back. Lovely says, I agree. Adam says, okay, so she was just being friendly. Adam, I feel like, as I said, there's a missing step. I feel like she actually liked you. It's just that there's got to be an engagement. There's got to be the next step. So when you like a flower, you walk past the flower, you maybe you smile at the flower, you appreciate the flower. That is quite superficial. It's a superficial kind of feeling. And it doesn't mean, you're going to have a relationship with that flower, or that there's going to be a deeper connection. A deeper connection comes from time spent with someone and establishing that connection. So need to engage. So maybe you can explore that, and that can be really fun for you to explore that part of yourself. Vulnerability, I feel, is difficult for you, and really I encourage you to have fun with it, flow with it. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take anything we do as human beings. Don't take anything too seriously, as long as you don't harm other people. So always follow that mantra. I can do pretty much anything as long as I don't harm other people, and please don't harm yourself as well. So first, do no harm, and if you follow that, pretty much most things will flow. Enlightenment is not to brag about, you just feel the energy, I believe. Yeah, Jess. I feel like there is an energy of enlightenment around certain people, and it can be cultivated through mindfulness, through meditation. It's consciousness, awareness. And Marianne says, yes, I did. I think, Presh, sorry, we kept you waiting, Presh. Very interesting topics, lots of topics. And I find it interesting about the books that we connect with, that we are inspired by. I really love Celestine Prophecy. I love that series. At the time of my life, it was just so inspiring and so connecting. And I think the idea of energy, everything was energy. All right, so let's focus on Presh. And there's a lot of learning going on, Presh. A lot of learning, a lot of expansion, a lot of growth. That feels difficult. This card indicates you have the spiritual support around you, but it's very difficult. It's like, I think I've read for you before, and this type of catharsis energy, this type of breakthrough energy comes through, where you're having to surrender. You're going through all these struggles, and it's a type of portal that you're walking through. You're going through this portal. So this card reminds you, connect to your community. You're not alone. Make sure you have that support. So that's important. Physical connectivity, to foster physical connectivity, to keep things in place. That's going to ground you as well. And ultimately, you're raising up the vibrational, going up a few steps. We always have, the chakra system. There's so many ways to look at the world, and we can go up to the bigger picture. We can be in the minute details. We can be obsessive about details, or we can be up in the stars, or somewhere in between, or both, or more in certain chakras of our body. We can talk about that. I think I've talked about that before, the chakras. This card is like, when you rise above, when you take a step back, what is the mission? What's coming out of this? What kind of lessons or learning is being established? Everyone comes with a certain vibe, with a certain frequency, with a certain kind of expression of desire of what we are bringing into the world. What is the message of our life? What is when we were planning our life, what did we want to learn? What were the lessons? What was the type of frequency? Always remember, you can change anything. You're not stuck. Certain things may be intractable, but most things are fluid. You can change them. You can transform them, evolve them. And the energy coming through strongly is you as a teacher, as a messenger, bringing harmony and peace. So I've got that card for you before. I think that your mission is to bring harmony and peace, and just by your presence alone, Presh, And there's a beautiful energy in your prayers when you pray, when you speak to Krishna, when you speak to God, when you harmonize with existence. It's really filling me with joy. It's filling me with source energy. So you are connected, and that is a wonderful joy and a wonderful part of your existence in the world. So that's what I get for you, Presh. Just catching up. Any insights you can share with me? Insights you can share with me. Insights about anything in particular? Insights about what? Plus, there are relatives named Michael, so I have to define which one. So we are asking about Michael. We're asking about Michael. I'm just looking back. Marianne, let's have a look. Let's see what is coming out about this Michael. The Michael the snake. I laugh, but it's actually it's not really a laughing matter. But what I said is, this when we take life too seriously, it becomes serious. So everyone is here to play. To the world is a stage, so we are actors on the stage. So maybe his role on earth is to be a snake, and we shouldn't denigrate that or look down on that. In a way, we can find a respect, find a place in our hearts for everything going on, everything in the world. And it feels like he is here to share his voice. Well, this card is indicating there is a type of visionary, a big picture thinking, or inspiration. So these energies are welling within him. He wants to share his voice. So the cards are saying really that he is here to share his voice, but he's not going to resonate with everyone. So I feel like he is here to share his voice, but not to resonate with everyone. So he will have a small following, Marianne. All right, so catching up with comments. I think we did that. Stacia, first time watching. Welcome to the show, Stacia. And that's the first time I've seen the name Stacia, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful name. Is that Greek? Hellenistic? Where does it come from? Cyprus, maybe? Stacia. I love that. And did I say it right? Did I pronounce it correctly? Maybe I didn't. I don't really know. And Maggie says, hello from beautiful Florida. Welcome to the show, Maggie. And great to see you. Stacia says, hi, Maggie. Do you two know each other? Precious, I feel like I'm changing. Yes, what is the mission? What am I meant to do? So, Presh, we are like these little seeds in a pod, or flowers in a hedge, or each one of us is co-creating with the others, and our mission is to be. There isn't. I think sometimes we think of our mission as we are the king, or we have some kind of grandiose role in the world. Most of us are part of the co-creation. We're here to. We each have a unique signature to impart, to expand on, to really like a unique flavor of the overall soup. So we each here as a soul essence, as a spiritual essence. And when you start to search for a mission, what am I meant to do? It becomes grandiose. It means you'll be disconnected from the present moment. So I'll focus always on the present moment. That's the most powerful place we can be. And that's where we can enjoy. And you're here to experience life. But your mission is to love yourself, accept yourself, love your life, accept your life, and experience it. Be there for your every part of your life. So that's your mission, Presh. Be all you are right now. Maggie says, "Hey, Stacia, I wonder sometimes if they hear me. Everything is heard. Fresh, everything is registered in the Akashic records of consciousness. And it is important. It is essential. Your energy raises the collective vibration. It brings harmony to the collective, and it brings joy to the one source, the one force who created you." Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jess says, and the thing is that sometimes the world demands and stresses more out of the real you. Absolutely. This is really true. And sometimes people are tired, they're just physically tired. I think one needs to reclaim that and get away from the things you're not and not making you happy, I believe. So, yeah, thank you for that, Jess. We get disconnected from what's real, disconnected from ourselves, disconnected from the present moment. And when we're tired, we're not going to be operating optimally. We're going to be distracted. We're going to make mistakes, and sometimes maybe even lose connection, say things we wouldn't normally say. Stacia would love a card. We've got some animal visitors that have just entered the space. You cannot see them, but they are down below. I'm drinking my tea. Stacia says, "Thank you. Let's pick a card for Stacia." Maggie says, "Thank you. My first time too." So welcome to Maggie, and wonderful to have Floridians. We love Floridians on this show. Stacia says, "Yes, you did." And just as in Vedic astrology, there's a Vedic sign, Ashlesha. Ashlesha is a snake, but they are good healers. The doctor's logo is a snake, actually. So snakes, I love snakes. They're beautiful. They are powerful. They are majestic. And I love the fact that they're they move like, I don't know how to put that into words, like a spiral. They have a spiraling energy. Oh, thank you, Maggie. All right, so Stacia, we're going to pick a card for Stacia. And the doggies are here, so they want to say hi, hello. They want to be part of the action. And let's have a look. Hi. Hi. All right, Stacia, let's go into that. I feel you have a gentle sort of resonance with the world. It's feeling like you are intuitive, not when you try and force it, just when you're sort of going with the flow. I think I've talked about going with the flow, following your passions. There is sometimes a sense of things stopping, of life getting almost like a winter in your life. So there are cycles. We all have cycles. Just observe the cycles. Don't resist. Don't resist. Don't judge them either. I know sometimes it feels, why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? So for you, acknowledge the cycles. Let them go with the flow. Let them be. Don't try and force things. And it's almost like you're working on, you're very industrious, working hard, and it feels like you are making progress. I'm getting a positive sign. You're making progress. Trust that you are moving in the right direction. You are being guided. You are making progress. And baby steps. just small steps of progress. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I feel like it's sometimes you're putting too much pressure on yourself, and it's overwhelming and it's disconnecting you. So just go, go visit the ocean, go to the beach, make sure you keep connecting to nature, the one source, the one force. Stay grounded. That's also important. And Jess says, "Oh, your puppy." Stacia says, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Maggie's saying, "Thank you." And Stacia says, "I love that. My pup loves the energy too." So we have two lovely, lovely dogs visiting. They are very warm today, very friendly. They're beautiful, beautiful animals. They like to be part of the energy. Maybe the dog should pick a card for us. I love that, Kim. What a great idea. Well, we're going to get the dog to pick a card for us. And she just wants to be loved, and she wants to chase crabs. She loves chasing crabs. So I guess simple food, she wants crabs, she wants food, and that's pretty much most of what she wants. And she loves to cuddle. She loves the cuddling. So she's very affectionate, loves the cuddle. Stacia says, yes. And yes, I really do work on grounding every day. Beautiful. Stacia, you have a beautiful energy, a beautiful ability to harmonize and connect. And it's great to connect with your energy today. Thank you. And Kim says, so cute. So the card Panda has picked is letting go. Some of us think holding on makes us strong, but actually, I'm not just letting go. It's interesting when we think of strength, because is letting go, is that weakness? Because I think in our culture, often letting go is seen as weakness. We must hold on to things. Letting go simply means allowing things to be as they are without constantly struggling to control or resist an outcome, or continually reminding yourself of an unhappy past event or a negative emotion. So she wants to remind us to let go. Beautiful message from Panda. Thank you, Panda. And Bruno, what does Bruno want to tell us? They do sow their daddy, and they do stir up the chi when it's stagnant, just like the cats do. Yeah, the cats are the great healers and so intuitive, so connected to energy. Dogs are less. They're a bit more. How would I say? A bit more devoted. A bit more devoted. Cats are more independent. Amazing healers, the cats, and the Egyptians were revering the cats, which is interesting too. Stacia says, thank you. Jess gives me a big heart, and a big heart to Jess. How are you, Jess? How is everything? And we are going to pick a card because Bruno wants to pick a card as well. Let's pick a card from, and Bruno says, so much of our suffering is self-inflicted. Conflicts and struggles, as well as happiness and joy, can be intentionally cultivated. We can intentionally cultivate happiness and joy if that's what we desire. Everything is a transitory experience. So once you wake up to this fact, you can really shift any pain into a positive experience. Make everything short, realize everything is short-lived. So he's saying basically, be present, enjoy the present moment. Maggie, if you feel anything, Bruno. Okay, so Maggie. And Bruno wants to go running after crabs as well. That's also a message coming through strongly from Bruno. And Maggie, I feel this idea of visionary ideas, of having visions, is really significant for you. It's a type of Pleiades energy, Pleiades energy. It's almost like there's this castle in the sky, which is really inspiring, Maggie. And the pulse of Mother Earth, is right there. You see that beautiful card, and it fits with my painting. Wow, it kind of matches my painting. All right, so I feel like that is already within you, these visionary ideas. And Maggie says, Bruno, Stacia says, that's like an ice cream, Stacia, or something like that. Maggie says, my pup Holly is running over to me. Awesome. Oh, nice card. All right, so I'm going to pick from the Energy Oracle deck for you, Maggie. Feel like sometimes practical details are, it's like there's too many things for you sometimes. So it's important to step away from one project, step towards another project, be really discerning. That's coming up strongly. So it feels like there's an ending coming up, or you're going through an ending. It's like, and this card is saying just step away, be able to step away. Don't hold on to things, don't hold on to grudges. And sometimes with relationships, it's best to just walk away. What will be for you will be for you. Don't force anything, Maggie. Jess says, nice messages from your puppies. Yeah, and they actually left, so they brought a message and then they've gone. Maggie says, thank you. Yes, you're nailing this. Thank you, Maggie. Well, we do love having new people on the show. Please do like and share if you resonate with the content. I am planning sacred temple journeys, which will be experiential, organic, restful, connective, activation portal experiences where we will get to immerse ourselves in the culture and the energy of temples, sacred temple journeys. So I look forward to anyone interested to join me on our sojourn, on our trip, on our mystical journey. An ending is happening as you speak. So there's this walking away card, Maggie. So there you are, beautiful, and you're stepping away. That's coming out strongly right now. So sending you lots of love in your journey, sending you all lots of love in your journeys. And I've loved being with you today. Maybe I'll come tomorrow. I said that last week because I loved it so much, and I didn't end up making it. I think I was working or something like that. So I would love to be back with you tomorrow in 23 hours. Let's see. Stu says, thanks, David. Super show. Lots of fun. I won't guarantee I'll be back tomorrow. Depends on the energy flow for me. Thank you, everyone. Lots and lots of beautiful love to you all. Wishing you a beautiful day. Remember to enjoy the harmony of the present moment, which is beyond thoughts or words. It just is. Maggie says, yes, big time. It's a good thing for my endings. Great message. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on the show. See you all tomorrow or otherwise next week. I'll be back next week. Tomorrow, let's see. And same time, same place, or similar time, similar place, about an hour previously, so an hour ago. Uh, thank you all, and see you next week or tomorrow. Bye.